What's going on, guys? Dylan930 here with my recently glitched Falcon Xbox 360 console. My glitch chip I used was the Executor's Cool Runner glitch chip, and I'm going to be making a tutorial for you guys. I'm going to do it step by step in different segments, just to make it as noob friendly and as easy to follow as possible. Okay, so for starters, I am going to have a list of all the different items you're going to be needing, at least all the items that I use, so this is what you'll be needing to follow my step-by-step instructions. Okay, so now that you have everything you need, you are going to need to dump your Xbox 360's NAND, and as I stated, I use the NAND X by direct wire connection. It's just the easiest way in my opinion. I'll put a picture up for you guys on where to solder the wires. It's going to be about the same on all other NAND readers. However, I'll probably put a picture up specifically for the NAND X that's color coordinated, just because it's what I use and it's what I prefer. And the easiest way to read the NAND is, so for one, you have to solder the wires to the board. And when you are reading the NAND, make sure that you have the power cable plugged into the power supply, but don't turn the Xbox 360 on. Just leave it plugged in. It's just so you can read your NAND, and you have to have it like that. And then the easiest way, in my opinion, to read your NAND is to use a program called JTAG Tool by Cool Shrimp. Let me close it up and start it from the beginning so you can see. Make sure you run it as administrator if you're using Windows 7 or Vista. Okay, so now that it's open, no, I don't want to update. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on New Dash Reset Glitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Advanced Mode. And then you are going to click Main. And then you have to specify how you're reading your NAND. Is it USB or LPT? So in my case it's USB. What kind of motherboard? Mine was a Falcon. And yeah, that's all you gotta do for now. And then you click on NAND, the NAND tab, and then just click Read NAND, and it'll go through the process of reading the NAND, and then you need to save it somewhere where you'll remember. Then just do the exact same thing over again, read it again. And then once you're done reading it, you need to go down to NAND compare, the option, click on that. And if you just read the NANDs, if you used JTAG Tool, it'll automatically load both your NANDs here, and all you have to do is click compare. But in my case, because I didn't just read the NANDs right now, I did it earlier on, I have to go and find them, so make sure you know where you saved them. So here's one of my NANDs that I read. And the other one I believe I saved under the desktop. Yeah, right there. And then what you want to do is hit the okay, so once you have both your NANDs in there, you want to go ahead and click the compare button, and the green status bar will go across quickly, and that's what you want to see. 0 non-matching blocks. If you have bad blocks, then I suggest to check your soldering and try to dump the NAND again until you get 2 matching ones. I always do that just as a precaution to make sure that I did get good reads of my NAND and I don't have any bad or missing blocks. Okay, so once you have done that, you can close out of JTAG Tool. Okay, so for second step, you are going to be creating the ECC image to flash onto your Xbox 360. So for this, you're going to use a program called 360 Multi-Builder. It's a great, really simple, easy program to use. And so you open the folder up, and in the data folder, you're going to go under My 360. And you have to put one of the copies of your NAND that you dumped. Doesn't matter which one, if they're the same, just put it in here. But make sure it's named NAND_dump.bin, otherwise the program will not work. Once you have it in there, go ahead and go back until you get to the main subdirectory. Go ahead and double click Run. And then you have a bunch of different options. It says make sure the 2 files, NAND.bin and CPU text, is in there, but it doesn't matter because right now we don't need to do that. So go ahead and select your console type. So for mine, I have the Falcon, it's number 5. Go ahead and click Enter. It says the file CPU text is missing from the My 360 folder, so it's going to create the glitch image instead. So I'll go ahead and click Enter. And it's saying just another little kind of warning thing, and go ahead and click Enter again. And it is creating the hacked ECC image. for your console. Just give it a little. Alright, and it says written to data, and it's under, it's called image underscore 0000.ecc. Press any key to continue. So then when you go under data, you will see right there, there is your hacked image. Okay, so in order to actually write your ECC image onto your Xbox 360, you're going to go under command prompt, and then if you've never used command prompt, it's based off of, like, you have to CD, or you have to tell the computer which folder the file is under and what you're going to use. So what you're going to have to do is locate your NAND Pro folder, which in my case, one second, my NAND folder is under my C drive, or right there, NAND Pro, and I already put the image file that was created. You need to copy it from your other folder, or cut it from your other folder and paste it into the NAND Pro folder. And then up in the title bar, go ahead and right click, click copy address, go over to the command prompts, and you're going to go ahead and type CD spacebar, then right click and paste, and then you should have that. It should say C NAND Pro. Okay, and then you need to type this in. It's spacebar +sign W16 image underscore, and then all the zeros, just the same name of the file that you created. And if you are using a big block NAND, then instead of putting a 16, you're going to put a 64 right there. And then you're going to go ahead and click enter, and it will write the hacked image file over to your Xbox 360. And when you're done with that, we'll move on to the next part. Okay, and next step is to program your glitch chip. And I will put a diagram up of how to solder the wires and into which location. I recommend using flux, and when you're done, once you're done with this whole process, use hot glue. I went a bit obnoxious with the hot glue on this one, but this point was coming loose, and I wanted to make sure I didn't, rip off the pad from the board, so I put on a ton of hot glue. Okay, but the way you're going to program the actual glitch chip is you need to solder the wires that came with it. The one that says what is it, 3v3. It goes into a point right here, and the black ground wire you just solder to one of the little points coming off of the AV connector. Like I said, I'll put a picture up so you can see it, because I know you can't really see what I'm pointing at right now. All the other wires you don't have to do right away. You can wait until after you program the chip. All you really need is those two wires in order to program it. So then what you're going to do is you are going to connect your JTAG programming cable. For mine, I am using this one that I bought off Digilent. It was only like 14 bucks or something like that. It was really cheap, and it works great. It's LPT1. The only thing I noticed is that this right here, where it connects to, was too far. It was too down when they make them. I don't know if because they made them specifically for their LPT programming cable, or their what's it called, the NANDX programming cable, but I had to actually put some solder here and lift up on the pins so that it lifted up higher, and I was able to stick the pins into the socket and program it. So once you have it attached, once you have it up, you're going to go ahead and stick in your JTAG programming cable, and then you're going to power on your Xbox 360. And once you've powered on your Xbox 360, you are going to hop on over to, let me close this. You're going to go ahead and go over to Xlink's Lab Tools. The program's called Impact. No. Okay, so this is my my setup, or how it is from it saved my last project. But if you have everything set up correctly, you need to click auto detect when you first open the program. Just click yes, auto detect, and it should take you to this point right here. And all you're gonna do at this point is it'll actually ask you if you want to locate the files that you want to program it with, but since I'm already beyond that point, I'll just go ahead and show you. You're gonna right click and click assign new configuration file, and then you have to download the files. Let me see where they're at that I told you to download. You have to download the Cool Runner programming files. Where are they at? Right here. And then you're just going to go ahead and select whichever one's irrelevant to your console. So in my case it was Falcon. And then when you're done with that, just go ahead and right click. Or you can't do it right there. Oh, right there. You just go ahead and click program, and you should see a little status bar right here, and it should say program succeeded. If you've seen that, then you're good to go and you're ready for the next step. If not, then I suggest you check your soldering to make sure that you have a lot of solder and it's making a good connection, because it does need to be grounded, and it needs the 3 volts or 3.3 volts to be powered. And once you're done with that, then you're going to go ahead and solder on the remaining 4 wires if you're on a fat console, and refer back to that picture. I'll put it back up, I guess, for you guys to look at again. And once you're done with that, you're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so for you guys, all you have to do is click the power button. It'll boot right up into Excel if everything was done correctly. But since I already have GG build on mine, then I have to press the eject button to boot into Excel. So I'll go ahead and do that. And you can see the glitch chip actually lights up green when the glitch is kicking in, I guess, at the beginning. And then you should see this, but yours will actually be blue instead. So just wait while this loads. Okay, and then you're gonna see fuse set 3 and 5, or 4 and 6. That's your CPU key. So they're both the same. 3 and 4 are the same, and 5 and 6 are the same. So you just have to write down one of them. Obviously, you don't have to write it down twice, the same thing. So write down like 3 and then write down 5. I actually recommend taking a picture. It's the easiest way rather than having to write it down. Okay, so what you gotta do after you have a picture of your CPU key, the 2 lines, is you just write down, so let's say like fuse set 3, I'll just do something random. Let's say that's my fuse set 3, and then 5, whatever the other part is. So once you have your CPU key, which is the 2 fuse sets, you're gonna save it as CPU key.txt. Or just CPU key actually is fine, and I'll go ahead and save it on my desktop. And then you are going to go, let me go ahead and find my CPU key, click cut, and go back to your multi-builder folder under data, and under my 360, and go ahead and click paste. And then go under run and do the same thing again. Choose whatever console type you have. So mine's Falcon. And then you'll get a different menu. It'll tell you what do you want to do, and you just follow the steps. So for this, it's a glitch hack, and you want to build an image. Choose whether you want dash launch patches, which I did. So go ahead and hit 1 and hit enter, and it will create the image for you, and just let it run through. Once you're done with that, when you go into the data folder under multi-builder, you'll have a new folder or a new file called nanflash.bin. Now all you have to do is simply go under JTAG tool again, run as administrator. Yes. No, I don't want to update. Okay. Click on advanced mode once again, and then all you have to do is click the NAND tab, click write.bin. Make sure that you have, like I said earlier, the power plug plugged in, since you are writing the NAND every time you do the NAND writing or reading or anything like that. You have to have the power plug plugged in, but like I said, the Xbox does not need to be on. Don't turn it on. And then you are going to find that file, so nanflash.bin, double click it, and right now it says it can't find it, but because yours is already hooked up, it'll just go ahead and write the NAND for you. And once it is completed successfully, essentially you're done. And the end result should be an Xbox that can boot into a modified kernel. So let's go ahead and power it on. And there you go. So yeah, hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you guys. Like I said, when I do my next install, I'll make a video of that as well, so I'll actually be doing it with you guys, and it'll probably be better than this, but it could be 4 to 5 days before I actually get my stuff in from X Consoles, because it says they're getting their shipment in on the 14th, and I mean, last time it took forever for me to get my package from X Consoles, so I figured I could at least show you this much. Alright, well, this is Dopestar930, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and I will try to help you as much as I can. And